Hey everyone, I'm Assistant 4 here, and today we're going to be continuing back to WARPED in the Sane Trilogy, but not on the PS4, but on the PC. So it makes sense of what we'll see later, and by later I mean like right now. But basically, on top of there being other versions of the game out for like the Nintendo Switch, Xbox One, PC, as well as they're being optimized for the next gen systems, or now current gen, we also have a new level in here. Future tense. Now, just a disclaimer, I do have 105% done with this, and I already beaten future tense on these other stuff. This is just like a new the save file just for this. So, without further ado, let's get Ah, yes, we're back in here. Feels good to be back in Warped, honestly. So, I have to readjust myself for all the stuff from Crash 4. Alright, for one thing, the jump is not nearly as floaty. This exists, as well as also this. Like, I should have probably practiced this before like not even practiced the level, but practiced the moves before jumping on in here. But yo. This level is actually pretty tricky, and there's actually a couple of trophies you can get from here too, but I'm sure by now a lot of people already know this, since this is like what, 3 years after the, no, 2 years after the level and the other versions came out. I gotta say though, it was pretty nice that they actually put this out on other versions, as well as the freaking, what was it, as well as made a whole new level to commemorate it. Which is nice. So this level is, as you could probably tell from the very beginning, this level is not exactly new player friendly. In fact, if you don't have the abilities, you're actually not going to be able to complete any of this stuff. So this is something you just have to be aware of before. Like the game even tells you, with great powers come great responsibility. You know, that classic line. It's just the game's way of telling you that if you could pretty much beat the level without the power-ups, but if you want like the gems and everything, as well as a good time on here, because there are time relics here, I gotta remember not to die. Because believe it or not, there's also a death fruit in this level. Ain't that nice? And we're coming right up to it too. And you already know about the rules by now. If you die before touching a if you die before going to the death fruit after touching the first checkpoint, that's it. Now, one thing I will say though is that I gotta imagine how this game's gonna look like with freaking ray tracing and all that. Assuming they'll even add something like that to the PS5 and Xbox Series X versions, as well as PC. Alright, here we go. And this death fruit's no joke either. Whew. But yeah, this is something you absolutely have to do if you want to get all the boxes too, so there's no getting around this. Can I hit him? No, I didn't. Alright, is this a good spot? I'm hitting him. I guess not. Oh no. Oh, I should have skipped that a while ago. Oh my god. That's fine, because right here we got the freaking, we can get Aku Aku here. What? Not gonna lie, I'm actually kind of lost where that's standing at. Like, is it on top of the platform or is it just surrounding it? Let's see. Okay, so it's on the platform. What happened to the music? I swear, believe it or not, this is not something I expected was gonna happen. Anyway, hold on, let me see if I can fix that. That's so weird. No. I'm not dying again just to fix that. Oh, frick. I think it's possible to reach all the way there with just this stack here. Because, like, what you're supposed to do is hop on these TNTs and work all the way up there. Because this sucker's going to be there like that for a while now. Okay. Yeah. And then there's this section, bruh. This section, I have a hard time getting... Even now, I have a hard time getting around without getting hit by something. And I made it. First try, baby. Let's go. And over here is where Fake Crash would be. I'll even show that off after this part. Alright, so now we finally made it out of there. Okay, there we go. I don't know what the heck happened there. But yeah, the challenge now was to make it back without dying. Which isn't really much of a challenge since we already got pretty much everything. We even took out the enemies and all that too, so that's nice. Nice, now we're done. Now the hardest part of the level is finished. Oh, I probably shouldn't have done that? Okay. Freaking, believe it or not, they decided they really had the nerve to put freaking extra life crates over here of all things. Did I get that? I think I did. Yes, I did. I gotta check. I have to be safe on this. I'm so used to freaking Crash 4's like quote unquote spinning, cause like it's not like this at all where you just mash it to proceed forward. Are you serious? To proceed forward. But like you have to press it in like a sort of a rhythm in order to get a good speed boost. Whereas here, it's just freaking... Are you serious? Again? It's just slide spinning onto like a upward slant. And then if you land with that, you get a good speed boost. God, I have to relearn everything with the Sane Trilogy just for this level, as well as freaking the entirety of Crash 1. Oh, and the bonus. The bonus is no joke either. You have to time the... This is just the beginning right here. You have to go through here. Make sure you get out in time. Frick. It's still possible to get out of here. I didn't get this. But without freaking... Without Aku Aku, it's just going to be that much harder. Since trying to space yourself to where the TNT doesn't hit you is pretty tough. But that's the one thing I like about Future Tense. Like it's challenging you to work on timing stuff. Thankfully we can get those later. Frick. Now the thing, you know what's the funny thing? In Crash 4, for whatever reason, when it comes to these nitro crates in the bonus rooms, they have like sometimes the levels will have a secondary nitro switch. Believe it or not, that sucker is not optional. In that game, it's like, with the bonus, you have to hit that version of the nitro switch just for those boxes. Because there's no bazooka in that game, of course. Yo, I'm just saying though, Crash 4 with the fruit bazooka would be kind of nice. Why did I do that? I tried to slide jump. At least I'm not too far away. I didn't want to hit that because, like, if I die, I have to go all the way back down here again. By the way, for whatever reason, on the Switch version of this level, as you can see right here about these reflections and everything, like, not RTX, but, like, freaking, like, good reflections and stuff like that. In the Switch version, reflections are entirely disabled, so there's a good chance you will not know that there's a TNT there if you haven't checked out the other versions of the game. And that's kind of, like, there's no indicator for that. They didn't put a Wumpa Fruit there or anything. Oh, and this part too. Like, you actually kick that sucker in the background, but on Switch, it's just, they just put a crate, they just moved the crate over. I don't know. Like, I'm not trying to diss the Switch version just to clarify this stuff here, but it's just that, like, with the cool things that the PS4 version did with the game when it was a timed exclusive, it just feels like the Switch version, while still a good version, I'll maintain that opinion. It's just that, like, a lot of the cool things that, little details that this version of the game had is pretty much entirely gone from that version, and that was my fault. Did I forget to mention there's a time relic for all this too? Like, I'm pretty sure a lot of y'all got this by now, but I forgot. There's no freaking, oh my god. When you slide off in this game, it's not nearly as generous. I'm just dying to dump stuff now. I should just go back instead of trying to go forward like that. But yeah, when you slide off the ledge, like, it's not nearly as generous. Not even close. Alright. So now we switch over to Coco, and now we're going to take care of the freaking time trial of this level. Again, it's not necessarily too hard. I'm not going to say it's too easy. Like, heck no. But if you know how to use the powers well enough, you'll be fine. It just feels so good looking at this version of Crash after so long, though. Alright. So now it's time for the time trial. And the time we're aiming for is, where is it? Leaderboard. 52:17. Which is, by the way, another cool feature that the Switch version just takes out entirely. Like, you have, yeah, you see that? 44:71? You see that? That's my score. But anyway, you have this whole leaderboard stuff that was in the PS4 version, the Xbox version, this version, and even the original version of the game, where you could, like, be able to put your name in there. I don't get how the Switch version just doesn't even have that. I just don't get it. Again, I gotta really shake off that stuff from Crash 4. But alright, here we go. Okay. Not necessarily better than my old time, but you get the idea. Am I on the pad already? Like, look at how that was so close to the pad. That was crazy. I think I was inside it a little bit. But anyway, yeah, that's it for warps now. Like, for real. Unless they decide to add something else later too. But that's pretty much it. It's just still crazy to me that they only added stuff for Crash 1 and 3. We all know what 1's for, but like, we haven't seen anything for 2 yet, and I doubt we will. But if they do decide to come back to this game at any point to add more stuff to it, I wouldn't oppose it. Not one bit. But yeah, so I guess the next time you will probably see me is either through like an update, something on Smash, or even getting started on the playthrough of Crash 1 on NST. Now, I do want to make some few modifications on that version, but it would just be visual. Like, if I do anything like give these guys like the Crash 2 or Crash 3 powers, it just break the whole game, honestly. I would love that. Trust me, that game needs to be broken. Seriously, like, why is Hyrule the way it is? But no, that's it. I don't want to stall this for any longer. So this I told you this was on. Thank you guys for watching. Hopefully you liked what you saw there with future tense. And yeah, I'll be looking forward to the Crash 1 playthrough of the Sane Trilogy on PC, where you get to have like 60 frames and everything, which, by the way, is probably the nicest touch on the PC version, is the fact that you have 60 frames per second on this version. I should probably turn off motion blur too, but I won't worry about that till probably after this video. So, with that being said, until then, stay warped. I think I finally have something. So stay warped.